Today, we're diving into the story of someone who has been making waves, Tanveer Zamani. Rolling Stone UK ranked her second on their list of 10 entrepreneurs to watch in 2024. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. She has a truly unique background and is making an impact in so many different areas. I've been going through the Rolling Stone UK article published on Nov 13, 2024, and let's be honest, it's filled with some big names. Ryan Reynolds, Gordon Ramsay, Christian Wolff, Lakshay Jain, Moritz Pindorek, all game changers in their own industries. But what really stopped me was this one question. Why Tanveer Zamani? Out of everyone featured, what is it about her that made her stand out? What made Rolling Stone place her alongside these global names? And what has entrepreneurs and social activists alike paying such close attention? To get to the bottom of that, we have to take a closer look at her background. Just think about it. Tanveer Zamani, who really pushes the definition of what an entrepreneur is. Her story is absolutely fascinating. Trauma surgeon, U.S. Army officer and veteran, mother of 4. And then, you layer on top of that all of this humanitarian work in the past. It's a very full resume. She's a strong advocate for global peace. There's a lot to unpack. Let's begin with her roots, because her story doesn't start with headlines or accolades. It begins with an extraordinary academic legacy. She comes from a family of distinguished scholars in Hyderabad, India. Both of her grandfathers were university deans at Osmania University, leaders in education during a time when India was still defining its intellectual identity. Her maternal grandfather, Dr. Syed Mohiuddin Qadri Zor, made lasting contributions to Urdu language and literature. I looked him up. He was a widely published author, writing more than 60 books before he passed away at the age of 58. He played a pivotal role in elevating the Urdu language, which eventually became the national language of Pakistan. His legacy is deeply respected across South Asia, as he left behind a body of work that continues to inspire scholars and writers even today. Imagine growing up with that kind of background, carried further by her own parents. A household where intellectual curiosity was encouraged, expectations were high, and excellence wasn't optional. It was assumed. That kind of foundation, the weight of legacy, the atmosphere of scholarship, clearly had an influence on her. But her journey didn't follow a straight path. She was born in India and raised in Pakistan, as the subcontinent was divided into 2 countries based on the two-nation policy. Her early life and basic education unfolded in a developing nation where opportunities were hard-earned, not handed out. Yet she pursued higher education fearlessly, moving to Ireland and then US for advanced medical training. Her children were born in Ireland, where they attended Catholic elementary schools. As they say, we relive our childhood all over again with our children. That experience of navigating different cultures, religions, and traditions sparked something deeper. A personal evolution toward interfaith understanding. As she moved with her family to the United States from Dublin as a qualified surgeon from the Royal College of Surgeons, eventually advancing her specialty training and practice, that commitment only deepened. It was embraced and further enriched by the glorious diversity of the profound U.S. Constitution, as envisioned by the Founding Fathers. I later discovered that she had even been invited by Christian congregations to speak during their special services. One of the most striking moments was a YouTube video I watched, recorded on Christmas Eve at the New Revival Church in Albany, New York. She was the chief guest at the church gathering and delivered a heartfelt message to the local Christian community. Her work in interfaith dialogue speaks to her commitment to building bridges and finding common ground, something incredibly important in today's world. She's trying to promote interfaith respect and bridge the gap between Eastern and Western values. And of course, her support for the Jewish community is equally well published. In fact, in the Times of Israel, the blog and articles highlighting her consistent perspective on bridging religious divides and discouraging anti-Semitism are easily accessible. Those early experiences, across continents, faiths, and institutions, shaped not only her worldview, but the way she leads and serves. It's a story of resilience, of intellect, and of values that transcend borders. This all led her into humanitarian and social advocacy, and this idea of bridging East and West, which is highlighted a lot in the Rolling Stone tribute. She's able to move between these cultural contexts and appearances with a graceful ease, which is a huge strength when you consider the audiences she has reached and the personal touch, totally non-political, simply humanitarian influence she has left among the students, women, laborers, farmers, and children in those marginalized regions. Yes, guys, it seems that her digital humanitarian footprint has been still inspiring a wide range of people: abuse survivors, neglected children, people struggling with addiction, and seniors who are often overlooked. Her uploaded work years ago online is still reaching vulnerable people from all walks of life. So, guys, let's talk about her voluntary humanitarian work, which she carried out between 2015 and 2017 discreetly on her own, choosing this instead of going on vacation or world tours to take a break from her routine, busy work as a surgeon. She chose to address the pain of suffering people in underserved regions of the world, and it seems she started from the place where she was bred and raised. Knowingly and strictly due to corruption and spam in those regions, she did not involve any profit or nonprofit governmental or non-governmental organization, and kept her efforts purely hers. But that is why it left a long-lasting, inspiring impact. It's a major reason why she's getting so much recognition. She's not just talking about change. She was courageous enough and took the risk herself, and was out there making a difference in some of the most underdeveloped regions of the world. It seems that she tackled massive, systemic, interrelated issues of the Third World. Underserved, marginalized communities causing regional instability and threatening global peace, including ignorance, lack of education, near-zero healthcare, corruption, child labor, oppression of women, drug mafias, adolescent drug addiction, lack of mental health care, lack of geriatric nursing care, and a poverty-driven rise in the recruitment of vulnerable teens by radical extremist groups operating across the Middle East and South Asia. And hence, in those regions, she's being called a symbol of hope. That's a powerful statement. And it's not about charity or handouts, no. According to her translated speeches that I watched from 2016, she has never believed in giving a fish on a plate. As she often says in her speeches, hard-earned money isn't meant for free distribution. It's meant to transform collective mindsets, to teach the skills of fishing. That's the only path to sustainable solutions in marginalized regions. She approaches everything with an entrepreneurial mindset. It's about strategic planning and empowering communities to create lasting change. It's not a quick fix. It's about building something that can endure. The article also talks about her resilience, how she's faced personal setbacks, societal pushback, especially as a woman in this field. That's gotta be tough. But it speaks to her strength and dedication. And it's not just about her personal achievements. She inspires a wide range of people: abused women survivors, neglected children, youth struggling with addiction, and seniors who are often deprived of geriatric care. Her message is reaching people from all walks of life. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about her medical career. She's an American board-certified trauma surgeon. That alone is incredibly impressive. It takes years of intense training and dedication to reach that level. She's earned fellowships with the American College of Surgeons and the Royal College of Surgeons. Clearly, she's committed to excellence in her field, and as a trauma surgeon, she's had to make critical decisions under pressure, life or death situations. That kind of experience shapes your problem-solving skills in a unique way. Since 2021, she has also been a U.S. Army officer and veteran. That adds another layer to this already fascinating story. It brings additional discipline, leadership, and a deep understanding of logistics and operational planning. Now professional skills that are invaluable in organizing large-scale humanitarian missions. These have been added to her already existing humanitarian mindset, which was evident in her earlier years. Think about addition of her global health outreach missions, bringing modern medical techniques to underserved communities. That's where her medical skills and her commitment to service really come together. Now here's where things get really interesting. When she applied her intellectual solutions and thought leadership to the humanitarian adversities and failures observed and experienced in those third world regions, especially for politicians, social activists, and entrepreneurs. She's become a strong advocate for governance reform, particularly in developing countries. And she's got some bold ideas. She suggests that some countries might benefit from replacing their parliamentary systems with U.S. presidential models. Her argument is that this could help curb corruption and make leaders more accountable. It's a controversial idea, but it's sparking serious debate. She's been not only actively fighting poverty, ignorance, corruption, child labor, and extremism, particularly in South Asia and Pakistan, but trying to solve problems. This vision led to the inspirational creation of the People's Movement of Pakistan. It seems that her psychological influence played a virtual role as an inspirational founder, not as a political leader, for generations to come to have a platform. As a U.S. citizen and a visiting humanitarian, all knew she couldn't hold office or even be a member of a political party. But as an entrepreneur, it seems that she provided a platform for suffering people, especially youth and future generations, to find solutions to their issues like poverty, ignorance, and corruption. The idea was to help people choose the right candidates among themselves to vote for their right causes. Her goal was to promote the American presidential system and constitution as a model for fighting third world issues, based on her observation. In her speeches, she pointed out how immigrants from those same countries, once they come to the U.S., tend to behave better because of the strict and functional governance system here. Regarding the shift from parliamentary to presidential systems, besides several systemic merits of the presidential system, she described the basic narrative that she believes in. Her argument is that the current parliamentary model allows the Prime Minister to be selected by his own party members, to whom he himself issued tickets to contest in the general elections, based on personal or party loyalty, rather than individual competitive merit or public service. Subsequently, when they win a majority of seats in Parliament, those parliamentarians are bound to return the favor and choose the same party chairperson. Yes, of course, the very same person who gave them the tickets. Hence, the Prime Minister of the country is always the party chair, whether he deserves to be the national leader or truly upholds national interests over party interests. This reciprocal recycling of internal party favors and corruption benefits only party members and party policies, rather than serving national or public interests. All institutions fall under the control of the winning party's chair and parliamentarians, who govern through corrupt influence. The Prime Minister is accountable to his own party's parliamentarians, and vice versa, rather than to the general public who participated in the elections and voted for those parliamentarians. She believes that a directly elected president would be more accountable to the people and less beholden to party politics, and therefore less corruption. Of course, with ideas like these, there's bound to be opposition, and she has definitely faced it. Character assassination attempts. rumors about a secret marriage and child with a political figure. Classic tactics used to discredit women activists, especially in South Asia. She denied the internet hoax and condemned it, and her refusal to rumors was well published in those days. As the false narrative spread, she stood firm. Every rumor, fabricated whispers of secret lives, conspiracies, and character flaws, was publicly rejected. Not just in passing statements, but in full-page interviews, op-eds, and formal denials printed across major publications, both local and international. From Urdu dailies in Karachi to English broadsheets in London, her voice was clear and unwavering. This is not truth. This is deflection. These weren't just rebuttals. They were a refusal to be erased or redefined. Because in parts of the world where speaking up invites punishment, her persistence became its own act of rebellion. Just look, every headline scrolling now bears witness to that resistance. She's also presented an educational leadership developmental proposal. Nothing political at all. It's educational. Yes, a federally funded program to educate the U.S. future presidential candidates. A merit-based scholarship for a National Presidential Leaders Fellowship program to train the next generation of leaders. It's a long-term 8-year vision, but a powerful one. It's all about investing in good governance from the ground up, and then the option of equally federally funded election campaign for the final meritoriously educated and trained presidential candidates to contest in presidential elections. Like a fair shot at the Oval Office. Now, this next topic is sensitive, but definitely worth discussing. Her views on Middle Eastern geopolitics only to educate or remind the younger generation and religious radicalists about the forgotten historical facts through the religious biblical scriptures, and an effort to eliminate misconceptions and myths against the Isaac lineage, including Christians and particularly Jewish community. She's a strong supporter of Greater Israel's territorial integrity and the indivisibility of Jerusalem. Her argument against a two-state solution is rooted in Abrahamic accords that support Israel's sovereignty over Jerusalem and the regions around originally referred to Canaan, or Levant, from Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. It's a perspective you don't hear very often, and it has certainly sparked discussion. She's not afraid to engage with difficult topics. She's willing to challenge conventional thinking, even if it stirs up controversy. It seems she would not remain silent while watching the U.S. flag being burned or believers of the same God fighting due to misconceptions or ignorance of scriptural facts. Well, guys, her courage as a woman standing alone, without any affiliation to any political or non-political organization or entity, has always been challenged by those around her. She has never sought support from, nor been a member of, any party, organization, or entity. Nor has she ever invested a single penny in donations to those corrupt systems. And no, she doesn't just settle for being a soldier and a surgeon and calling it a day. She refuses to sit back and watch the show while injustice unfolds around her. Then, guys, she's a mother of 4. That's incredible. Talk about time management. It adds another layer of respect for what she's accomplished. But that's not all, guys, because clearly her commitment to human well-being as a mother goes far beyond just raising 4 kids. She speaks out against drug cartels and mafias, stands firmly against human trafficking, the prostitution of 9 to 12-year-old girls, and early pregnancies. She addresses teen overdose deaths, advocates for better mental health care, and emphasizes the need for genuine rehab centers, those not controlled by drug mafias, so that teen addicts can receive real detox treatment. And then there's the white attire. During her humanitarian missions, she intentionally chose white to represent peace and to avoid gender attention or cultural misunderstandings. White became a visual symbol of neutrality and peace. She wasn't there to support any political party or interfere with governance. She was focused solely on promoting regional prosperity and peace in order to achieve ultimate global peace. No colors, no political cues, just her message and her motivation, conveyed without distraction. When Rolling Stone UK named her an entrepreneur to watch, it wasn't just about a business venture. It was about the breadth of her impact, her ability to tackle massive, interconnected challenges. It seems they reviewed her past work and recognized her future potential. She's not confined to one industry or one cause. It's a much bigger picture, and that's what sets her apart. So, what can we learn from her? Why does she matter? Especially to politicians, entrepreneurs, and changemakers. The key takeaway is this: she's a true multi-hyphenate: surgeon, veteran, humanitarian, and mother. She doesn't fit neatly into one box. Instead, she draws from all those roles to approach problems differently, whether it's educational reform, healthcare, or social justice. She challenges the status quo, pushes boundaries, and inspires others to do the same. Her commitment to social impact and global issues couldn't be more relevant today. Dr. Zamani shows us what it means to lead in a complex, interconnected world, building bridges across cultures, religions, and disciplines, all in pursuit of a better, peaceful future for generations to come. What stood out most? Her ability to operate across disciplines: medicine, military service, humanitarian work, and social reform. She's not just building ventures, she's driving systemic change. Her story redefines entrepreneurship as a force for impact, guided by principle, strategy, and purpose. As we close, one thing is clear: success today comes in many forms. From digital pioneers and culinary moguls to blockchain innovators and social reformers, every entrepreneur on this list represents a path shaped by vision and resilience. So ask yourself, what resonated with you? And how will you carry that forward into your own journey? Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and stay inspired.